Well, welcome. The collective is here for your information, knowledge, and love. What we ask of you is to sit and listen. Listen to that frequency. Listen to that vibration. For it is the frequencies and the vibrations that you are aligned to that will bring you the greatest clarity that you seek. Allow yourselves now to connect. For this period of time that you exist in, much has been brought forth for you. This understanding of your alignments, this understanding of your higher selves, this understanding of aspects of yourselves, the journeys that you've been on, and even the turmoil that is about, all around. It has been mentioned over and over again. Yes, even now, it isn't to reflect on what is the turmoil, but it is to reflect on oneself. For you see, as we all ascended masters, all purveyors of the truth, all that are in existence with you, we sit with you. We observe all that is going on around you. We are with you. Many have understood this. Many understand this of themselves. Many see the light in themselves and around the world. But even in the darkest of midst, the darkest of times, there is light. It isn't to get lost in what has happened. And yes, this is a general statement, even though you understand what has recently taken place in your human lives. It is to understand that moment, those darkest of moments that surround you. You are that light. This is the very first messages that have come through the collective to you, humanity, that you are the light, the beacon. You are the pillar of light that is to shine bright out into the universe so that all can see. It is the truth. This is your truth. This is who you are. That beacon, that light. As you are on this ascension path, that light is growing stronger. And you are going to see more. The brighter the light, the more you're going to see. The more in humanity you are going to see. But do not be disparaged by what you see. It is holding the truth of who you are in all of it. For it is a natural process, this ascension process that all are on. This is not the first time humanity has been through an ascension. But the closer you arrive to that ascension point, the more there are disturbances in the field. Why? It is for distraction. This too has been brought forth over and over again. Distraction, do not allow it to be in your view. What is distraction? It's what you hear, it's what you see, it's what you read, it's what you sense. That is outside of, discordant with anything that you understand. That is distraction. And yes, one day it may be a distraction, and the next it might be something you're seeking because it's intriguing. You want to follow it, to understand it, and understand whether it is a truth in your alignment or not. So again, distractions can be useful, but that's where discernment is applied. Beginning to see a pattern, it is understanding all of the messages that have been brought through over time. These are lessons. These are teachings. They're not just words. They are for you to act upon, to engage with, to work with, to align with. And when you are confronted, just as you recently have been in your human lives, with something disturbing, unsettling, it is where you choose to place yourself. No matter how you feel inside, it is what your divine is aligned to. It is understanding the strength that you have grown into. All of it is purposeful. So it is to take a step back. Understand all that has been presented to you over time. Whether it has been through the collective, whether it has been through other ascended masters, whether it is through your own connections. Are you living within that truth? Are you living to that truth? For each of you have been guided in your own way. Each of you have been ascended in your own way. Not into another dimensional plane, but ascended in your awareness. Ascended in your presence of the greater consciousness that is around you. So allow yourselves the knowing that you are on the path that you have chosen. Ask yourself, am I living the truth that is me? Am I living the truth that I'm connected to the greater consciousness of all there is? No matter what is taking place outside of my physical body, within the sphere of my existence, I am living it. Because when you understand that, then no matter what takes place in that sphere of existence around you, will take on a different meaning, a different point of acknowledgement, awareness, purpose. So settle into the depths of yourself and acknowledge and understand this has all been divinely orchestrated, not by anyone else, but you, this life, this existence. All of it. All of the lessons that you've learned. Take time to observe that in your own place, your own place of existence. So if you have questions, please begin.
Thank you so much for that opener and for your presence. Lauren G. wonders if she should continue doing shadow work, or is there something else that her team suggests that she give attention to?
Do not focus on shadow work as being the primary tool. Think of shadow work as the tool you engage when there's nothing else left to engage with, because you have worked yourself to a point at which all that is left is your shadow. See, everything else needs to be addressed before you address your shadow. So it might be reversing the equation. Now, what does it mean to work on oneself? What does it mean to address those things? It doesn't mean there's anything that needs to be cleared. It doesn't mean there's anything that needs to be fixed. It needs to be acknowledged. It needs to be brought into your awareness to understand that this is exactly what I'm to be doing. This is where I'm to be. This is who I am. This is my process. These are my lessons. These are my truths. And when you begin to work that through your own system, then you look back to the past and you work it through some past lives, acknowledging, placing gratitude upon it, because that is you, for all that you've experienced in the past. You could work through your ancestral line as well. There's much work to be done in gratitude, much work to be done in acknowledgement of all that you've experienced. Present, past, and even future, if you wish. before you even get to the shadow. Many place the shadow before they do any other work, and they're exhausted after they've worked themselves through their shadow. There's no energy left to acknowledge anything else. But if you fill yourself with the gratitude of knowing what you've learned thus far is purposeful, knowing that everything that you've done thus far is for your own purpose, then through reflection, then you can see the shadows. Those little bits that nip at you. Those errant thoughts that stir you. Those are shadow pieces. Shadows of past experiences that are just a vibrational force that you are strong enough now to clear. Because you've embodied yourself in the present. You've embodied yourself in those past lives. You've embodied yourself in that energy of gratitude, knowing that it is all purposeful. That gives you the strength to work on those little bits of shadow that need to be cleared.
Very helpful, thank you. So we understand that channeled information must come through a human filter. In terms of the Sophia Code, channeled by Kaya Ra, where does the Sophia Code book vibrate on Hawkins' map of consciousness?
It would be placed at approximately 898.
Fantastic, thank you. Natalie S. wonders if the man she's been spending time with is the right one for her. What would you like to say about this partnership, please?
Further, there are two ways to address this. One from the divine and one from the physical. The answer is yes, but it is how you address the yes in each one of those understandings. From the divine, yes. Fulfilling, yes. Aligning, yes. It fits within the orbit of your vibrational field. The greater question is, are you being fulfilled and are you learning? From a vibrational standpoint, it is a constant, but is there growth? See, it's understanding when within a relationship, whether it is romantic, friendship, partnership, and business, it doesn't matter. From the energetic, it is all virtually the same understanding of why two energies come together for a relationship. It isn't just to blend energies. It is to continue to grow, expand, learn from one another. It is growing within the spirit of the energies. Yes, there's the potential there, but one, the other, have to engage in that. Yes, you are. Yes, the other side, a bit. But you have to understand how they are vibrationally paired. That's where the greatest growth will come. From the physical standpoint, yes. Yes, meaning yes. A comfortable relationship, a comfortable physical relationship that is necessary to facilitate the energetic relationship. But again, what you're already sensing, this bit of stagnation that's within it, is it purposeful? Is it strengthening? Is it going to grow? See, these are answers you already understand within yourself. It is just how to express them. But yes, there's potential. but how much effort do you have to put in versus how much does he have to put in to equalize that? So, from this point, now engage in your own understanding, how you envision the relationship on both dynamics, and the answers are going to come very clear to you. It isn't about whether to disconnect or stay together. It is understanding how to make the relationship flourish as it needs to be.
Very helpful, thank you. Can you talk to us about martyrdom? The idea that when someone gives their life for something greater than themselves, it has the potential to produce miracles on earth. That their etheric body, full of life energy, becomes a substrate available to the angels.
The first, it is understanding martyrdom is that of a human construct of words placed over a divine event. It is what describes the divine event as it has been described. But see, this understanding of only a select few, meaning only these individuals, or those individuals, upon their death, they're risen to a higher vibrational plane so that they can support the humans in a way. See, yes, again, another understanding through the human framework. But what about the rest? Why isn't it that the common person, if you wish to overlay that in that particular way, why do they not get the association of a martyr? Is it because they didn't do something in their lifetime significant enough to gain that level of understanding? Or is it another series of humans that only select who should be the martyr? Erase this concept for a moment out of your thought process. The martyr. That their actions, and then through their death, they now spark change. What does that sound like? That sounds like every human on this planet. Every human on this planet is here purposefully. Every human on this planet is here to spark change within their existence, living or not. Do not allow a sector of humanity to place a word upon someone because of some special action they may have done throughout their life, which then, upon death, allows them a special place. No human is above another human, no matter living or deceased. All are divine. All are here purposeful. All are here for change. But you have to understand what change is. Change isn't always pleasant. So it is understanding how you framework, how you perceive, how you align yourself to what humanity is. And it begins with self. When you look at self, do you feel that you are providing the change that you are here to bring? Do you feel that you can be elevated to a special place upon your transition because of the work that you have done? Because if you think that, then you're going about it wrong. Whether it is one smile to one person in that entire life, you have done your job. Each human, there is not one that is more uplifted than another. You are all equal. Every single one of the humans on this planet are equal to the other. So it is rewriting the understanding of how you have placed labels for specific events. It is placing yourself in the highest level of the source energy that you were created by, and understanding that you carry the same potential as everyone else. And it is how you act upon it. It is how you put it out into the world. This is why at the beginning it is this understanding, this beginning message of understanding that you are that pillar of light, that pillar of consciousness, that pillar for others to see for their change. That is where it begins. Yes, different religious beliefs say one thing, what a martyr is. Others, different. That is a human construct, a human way of thinking that has been placed upon something that it shouldn't have. Every human is divine. Every human is purposeful.
Absolutely beautiful, thank you. Margie H. wonders, as she embarks on her upcoming trip, the Sacred Wisdom Tour, what should she be aware of in terms of her own learning and growth? And how should she orient her attention to be in full alignment with her divine path and purpose?
For it is to take everything that you've understood of yourself at this moment and neatly put it aside. Not get rid of it, just neatly put it aside, organize it if you wish. Everything that you've learned, everything that you've understood of yourself, and go with openness, complete openness. Yes, the reason you're putting it aside neatly is, yes, there are going to be moments you're going to need to draw upon it, but it isn't to be the first thing that is pulled out. See, what you're embarking on is you could say, a resetting of sorts. Resetting of the perspective. Opening yourself to, one would say, is simply, yes, one would say a higher consciousness, but that is all around. But it is a layer within you that is to unlock. A layer of consciousness that is going to unlock. One that is going to be infused with the experiences that can no otherwise be explained. There are going to be, some would say, miracles that are going to take place. They're not miracles as changing matter, but it is miracles of unexplained experiences. Things that are outside of the realm of your physicality. You're going to see them. And this is why I said, if you do not organize those aspects of self and neatly set them aside, the humanness that is left in place is going to distract you. It's going to shift your thoughts at the most critical moment. But when you are fully in your openness to receive, to be in presence of, to experience, this is where the greatest, shall it be said, miracles will take place.
Fantastic, thank you for that. So there's an understanding that we have multiple potential exit points in our life. One person even said we all have 7. Is that a standard number? What can you say about that?
Well, it isn't necessarily a standard number. That is the easiest number, if you wish to understand it that way. Multiple exit points, multiple points of transition. For yes, every life, you understand it as a contractual agreement for an existence that has a particular path that it is on, from birth to death, but in between. Now, for those that are familiar, yes, there are points at which your consciousness is diverted or switched out. You would understand this as a walk-in moment, where the entire consciousness goes offline and another consciousness takes over in the flash of a moment. That is an exit point, and some have experienced this. There are other moments where you understand that there's a greater clarity that comes over your existence, that is of a knowing that transcends the rest of your journey, to say, it's time, because there is another pending mission for you, so an exit point is offered. Now, this isn't describing what those exit points are. They're all individual and very unique. But yes, there are multiple points that can be offered up. It isn't that you have them written into your contract in any specific order or specific way, but they are contingencies. In the event of break glass, it is those moments where a necessity needs to take place. So, yes, 7 is a very comfortable number. It is a very low number. It isn't that any particular human has thousands of exit points, because then what would you have? You would have a life at every moment. You don't know whether you're going to be here or not. So it is a lower number that is associated with, yes, you and your humanness have 7, which is a very specific number for luck and a very specific number for different things. 7 is a generalized number. Some have 6, 5, 3, 2. It's random. But it is a contingency within the contract. All humans have it. But it isn't discussed. It isn't even in the awareness of the human that is betraying the life at the moment until the need arises.
Thank you. Was there anyone specific answering that question? Because you were quite comical tonight.
For it is this of Source itself, and Enoch and Michael is all part of this conversation.
Fantastic. You're on point tonight. Thank you. All right. Alex and Maria are thinking of relocating. What's the next best place for their small family to thrive, please?
Within your geographic United States, a central point in the region of northern Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Arkansas, Missouri as well. Within that region, there is a specific alignment line that will begin to activate as your focus point is drawing near to a conclusion. At the moment, it isn't specified, but if that is where you wish to begin to speak about, you'll see the connection point. There is another along your eastern seaboard, north, within the New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, Massachusetts region. Same thing, it is an alignment that will energize if that is the focal point at which you wish to begin a move. And again, there's another that is in the European geographic region. That is very expansive, but again, as a focus point begins to be dialed in, the specifics will be provided.
Wonderful, thank you for that. So Dana wonders about fifth dimensional cities of light in general, but also the city of light around or near the Chesapeake Bay, please.
For as you understand, humanity is moving through an ascension into that fifth dimensional plane. And as more and more ascend into that fifth dimensional plane, more and more their vibrational field is shifting, carrying a brighter frequency. Just as it has been spoken from the beginning, this aspect of energy and light that you carry within you, here as they move through into that ascension point of the fifth dimension, their frequency field emits a stronger light. Yes, these become cities of light. But they're not just cities of light, these are coordinated placements. Just as you understand portals and vortices, these are alignments, these are the sectors between different crystalline planes that are conjoining, and this is where all of these energies are housed, if it were. So, as clusters of humans ascend, their energies are being clustered into this space. Now, what they're experiencing is just what you have been understanding over time of this new earth. So yes, these clusters are creating this new earth space. So if you are to be witnessing over the horizon, clusters of light that are unexplainable, that keep intensifying, these are fifth dimensional planes, these are fifth dimensional light clusters of beings. Now, in this particular region, yes, there is a intersection, a divine intersection of crystalline alignment that, yes, what lies below is a fracture point. Because of what has been aligned on your eastern seaboard and the European coast, those two sectors are of one crystalline structure. So, what you're experiencing here, they are experiencing there. So what you're experiencing off this portion of the eastern seaboard is a cluster of energies of fifth dimensional light that are being experienced in physicality, because you are in a lower density plane, but you're seeing a higher dimensional frequency.
Oh, very helpful. Thank you for that. So Elaine was driving through the mountains of North Carolina, specifically below I-40 a few weeks ago, and got lost. When she looked around the area, she felt as though she had been there before. What was this connection that she was experiencing?
For a number of past lives that you've had placement within that region. You've experienced a number of different lifetimes there within those mountains, within those mountain ranges. A number of different lives, different portrayals of lives, but very deeply connected to Mother Earth. Living off of Mother Earth, not within a society, but small clusters of fellow humans. Living there, communing with Mother Earth. Yes, even in some as the indigenous. So it is a deep connection that you have, but it is also understanding the terrestrial energies that are also connected to those points. So as you were transiting that area, yes, though your humanness felt lost, there was another aspect of you that knew you were being guided. That was the terrestrial energy that was present, marking the road ahead of you, pulling you further and further along that road, so that you could experience all that you've experienced before as a memory.
Amazing, thank you for that. So what's the difference, if any, between what I typically refer to as the quantum field and what you refer to as the unified field?
The quantum field itself is that matrix of energy that sustains everything. Everything from consciousness to physicality, to thought, to emotion, to lifetimes, to parallel lives. It doesn't matter. It's a large web of existence. Each cross-section, each intersection, a node, can be anything from an energetic field to a lifetime. So think of it as a large spider web, and each place at which a web intersects with another to create a connection point that is a specific point of energy to connect to throughout your journeys. The unified field, think of it this way. Yes, it contains much of what has just been spoken of, but it is more of a stream of energy, one consistent stream of energy. Think of your consciousness as being an expression that is constantly flowing outward, similar to that pillar of light that was explained. But your consciousness is constantly expressing itself outward. Well, it is connecting to a larger stream of consciousness that has enveloped your planet. So every human and their consciousness is emitting that frequency out into it. So all of it is being experienced there. So it is difficult to decipher what is and what isn't, say, emotion or lifetime or an expression of yourself. The reason for the unified field is to grow consciousness, to expand consciousness. So as you connect to it, you feel the consciousness within you expanding, which then gives you the ability to connect into the quantum field at a much stronger level so that you can explore any one of those nodes and utilize that information for your existence and physicality here.
Very good. Thank you for that explanation. Could you talk to Judy about her upcoming trip that she is facilitating to Sedona, please?
For much of the groundwork has already been laid. You have already began to create the containers for all that are going to be attending. But it is the moment at which you arrive that you and the other facilitator will begin to unlock the primary container that all will step into. This isn't going to be an overwhelming process for you. It'll be just as natural as inserting a key into a lock and twisting and opening a door. That is the visualization to utilize as you open the greater container of energy that all are going to be within during the experience, during the gathering that you're facilitating. Then, as you go through the days, it is for you to observe, to hold that space, but it is also to understand that each individual that will be there is also a reflection of many of the experiences that you've had throughout your life. And this is why you are the facilitator. Facilitators, in any manner, are those that can represent all walks, all understandings, all teachings in an appropriate level of voice, of presence, and of energy. That is how you will partake as far as the facilitator.
Lovely, thank you for that. So apparently there are powerful radio transmissions coming from Jupiter's moon Europa, and they're getting stronger. They're forming mathematical patterns and geometrical sequences. What does this mean exactly?
On the surface, it is quite intriguing to all humans that you're receiving a transmission. In reality, every single one of your planets, every single one of your moons, every single one of your galactic bodies emits a frequency, a tone. What is being received is what is being dialed into. Europa itself, yes, there are many different energies within it. It does not mean there are many different civilizations within it, but there are many different frequencies within it. Moons themselves are a collector of energy. So, throughout the millennia, Europe has been collecting much of this energy and also transmitting it. It is what is being captured at the moment. Now, it is also to understand, yes, Europa is one of the more intriguing moons because it is, from your human scientific standpoint, the one that could hold the greatest potential of having some form of existence. Doesn't mean any large physical bodies, but the microscopic. Now, even at the microscopic level, they're transmitting a signal. Just as you, as a human physical body, you emit a signal. Whether you can receive it or not, whether it can be picked up by a piece of equipment or not, that's a different story. But each one of those microbes are transmitting a small bit of frequency. So if you think about how many are there, and how many billions upon billions and upon billions there are, then it is to also understand the transmissions that are being broadcast. What is being picked up is a natural set of frequencies. Every planet has them. It is dependent upon the equipment that is focused upon it to receive that information. That is where it is focused now. As your equipment grows in advancing technology, you're going to see that it is not a quiet universe. There are many frequencies to be listened to.
So you're saying that there is biological life on Europa?
There is. There's biological life on many of your planets, many of your moons, many of the different bodies that are out in your universe.
Including Mars?
Including Mars, yes.
Thank you for that. So a couple of channelers have talked about this idea that you sort of alluded to in terms of a change in our consciousness. Blossom has said that at some point along our ascension path, our envelopes would open and we'd have a greater mission. Amanda Lawrence also talked about it as our mission 1, and then we're going to be stepping into a second higher mission. Can you talk to us about what they're trying to convey?
For everyone, all humans that are on their awakening path, on their growth of ascension, all their exploration, are seeking definitive information of what is next. There is no definitive piece of information that will tell you what is next. There isn't. It is what is interpreted through the channel. So yes, these two individuals are receiving information and they're conveying it in their best possible means through the channel. Even here, it is to understand whether it is an envelope that is opening, whether it is a process 1 or 2, whether it is ascension, whether it is a consciousness that is now leveled up. These are all aspects of the energies that are taking humanity into the next level of their existence. So, for any individual, it is to sit with the energies that are abundant around you. And yes, many of them are going to be disruptive because you're not attuned to them, you're not aligned to them. And they're going to express to you many different things. Many of them you're not going to be able to decipher because consciousness is not at that point just yet. This is why it feels as if something is going to be revealed. Many of you, many humans, feel there is something just right there, right at that moment, and it's not there. Well, it's and it's not there, because you're sensing into the perspective of energy that is ever evolving. So instead of trying to chase it, sit with it. Allow it to flow around you. Be comfortable with it. It isn't what's going to explode in front of you. It isn't this cascading series of events that are going to sweep you off your feet. This is a tempering and an initiation and an attunement that is taking place. It takes place slowly so that you, in your human form, do not just dissolve into nothingness. Your human form, as it has been expressed over and over again, is not designed for the influx of all of the energies that are taking place around you. You have to shield yourself from them. Your human body is doing it without you even knowing it. But the more you come attuned to the energies, the more that are going to be present for you. The more that are going to enter in and more that are going to be outside. It's an ever-evolving process. So instead of chasing it or fighting it, allow it. And when you begin to allow it, you begin to see greater clarity with understanding of this greater process of ascension. That is all it truly is.
So when we allow that and go through that process, it will maybe be interpreted by some of us as feeling like we have a new mission.
This is correct. You might have a new mission. You might feel as if you're setting out on a new mission. Everything that you've learned up to this point seems to just step aside, and now you're out on a new path doing something completely different. It isn't something completely different. It is just the next evolution of you embodying everything that you've learned thus far. But you don't recognize it at that. It feels like your whole world just got flipped upside down and now you're doing something different. It truly isn't. But when you allow it to be, then it takes place naturally.
Awesome, thank you for that. So apparently 2 hours outside of Cairo, there is this labyrinth of Hawara, if I'm saying it correctly, that's not nearly as well known as the Giza Plateau, but apparently this plateau is as large or larger and quite significant. What would you like to share about that tonight?
Yes, your assessment is correct. But it is also to understand, yes, this is, if you wish to understand it in the manner of what was first, was it the Great Pyramids or was it Hawara? It was this labyrinth area. Now, you have named it a labyrinth. That is because of the different catacombs and different channels that are been explored and have been mapped. This is a complex. This is just one layer of a complex. See, what many don't understand is these are societies that have been built upon one another. This is over time, over millennia. They've been built over and over on top of one another. But this is the, if you wish to say it, the birthplace. This is where it all began, not of humanity, but of that region. And it expanded from there. And yes, even the Great Pyramids, the Giza Plateau, yes, they were all connected into that greater aspect, but at a much deeper level that is beneath your feet. That complex expanded itself out over the entire region. And it has been built upon, and over time has been built upon. So you're only experiencing the last 3,000 to 7,000 years of construction. But what lays beneath your feet is millennia old.
Fantastic, thank you. Are there any parting messages before we close this evening?
It is a very simple message. It is a message that was brought to you from the beginning of this channel, and it was what was brought to you from the very first channelings. It is to remember who you are. You are that light. You are that beacon for others to see. You are that beacon of light, that beacon of energy that does shine out into the universe to draw upon the universal forces that are all around, to bring it back here to the planet that you live on so that you can experience it for others. That is what is held within you. The purity, the source, the true existence All humans have it. It is just to remember it. And then it is to embody it and live it each day.
Outstanding. Thank you so very much for your presence this evening.
And thank you. And as always, the collective is here for your information, knowledge, and love.